Okay, it's 2 o'clock or nearly about that. We've come to the end of the storm, at least for the hourly updates that I've been doing since last night. Overall, the storm has evolved as expected, with some areas getting a little bit more, some getting a little bit less, but for the most part, the forecast has worked out pretty well. The one thing that has been a bit of a surprise is the freezing rain that has been more widespread than expected. But other than that, it has been a well forecasted storm by everyone, including the National Weather Service. They've done a great job. So we're at the end, and we know we're at the end because our low pressure system is getting ready to pull away. We have northwesterly winds for most of the region, northerly out of Connecticut and Long Island. Temperatures have been steadily falling below freezing around the I-95 corridor. Around here in Freehold, we dropped from 32 degrees the last time we talked down to 29 degrees now, rapidly falling as the cold air is working in, and we're starting to see freezing rain mixing back over to sleet and snow as the colder air is working its way in. You can see it very nicely here on the radar. Here's the back end. We got one more area right here of very light snow. It's not showing up on the radar, but there's some very light snow out here in southeastern Pennsylvania that is showing up on the observations, but not so much on the radar. And some of the steadier snowfalls continue to lift through northeastern Pennsylvania, will march through the Hudson River Valley and towards Connecticut. The back end for the I-95 is right here. And as this is marching through, it will also change over to snow as that colder air works its way in. So you can see the whole progression that has been shown on the HRR guidance this morning has worked out pretty much very nicely. On the latest 850 millibar maps here, you can see the cold air starting to press in, and some very strong cold air transport is on the way. And that is the next story here because the precipitation is going to be coming to an end and we're getting ready for rush hour. And when that's happening, in fact, let's refresh this and get the latest model that just came out. Our temperatures just plummet into the 20s this evening. And the reason why that is a concern is because the pavement is wet out there. And now you have temperatures falling into the 20s. And eventually, as you get to about 8 o'clock, into the upper teens and 20s, that means that everything that's wet on the ground is going to be frozen or in the process of freezing. So definitely use some caution when driving tonight. Even though the precipitation will be over and the visibility will be improving, the road conditions will be very icy. So use some caution, take some time. It's better to show up late than not show up at all. Okay. Or if you can, just stay home because it's better off just to stay off the roads tonight as those temperatures are going to continue to plummet and fall into the teens and eventually the single digits. So tomorrow morning's driveways are going to be very icy as well with anything that's left over on the ground. So our precipitation is coming to an end. We'll call it an end for today for the live updates, for the frequent updates, and we're going to take a little bit of a break. And then we get back into the seat for this evening with more updates covering another storm for Friday. I'll talk about that and more as we get on through the next couple of days, especially for the live chat tomorrow evening, where I think we might be dealing with an inverted trough here and possibly a Nordland trough. And I'll explain what that is and why that's important and who is at the greatest threat of impacts in the premium dashboard tonight with our impact maps. So look for that and more later on this evening. In the meantime, as always, stay safe out there.